And finally, I'm going to invite two people to close our conference. And the first needs no introduction. She will be Asha Khemka, and she'll return to the stage in a second. But also then to, given that this is the last event of this particular kind that we're holding, it felt absolutely appropriate to invite Helen Pettifor just to reflect on that. Helen, as you know, is the Executive Director for Improvement Services at LSIS, and all of the work that we've been talking about, in a sense, comes under her, and we'd like to hear from her by way of last remarks. So, Asha, would you like to come to the stage first?
Thank you, Bill. Good afternoon, colleagues. Wow, what can I say? It's been an amazing conference. You have been engaged with keen interest in debating the very pressing issues of our time. The spectrum and the diversity of the topics we have debated in this room and in various workshops, they have covered the full range of the challenges we face, the things we do well, and things we need to do even better. In talking to groups of governors in the last couple of days, what I have established very quickly that there is a very, very keen interest for you to be closer to teaching and learning, to understand data. There are lots of things in closing remarks I can pick up, but I'm just going to pick up 3 things. Yesterday, when I started, in setting the context, I outlined 3 key challenges. And the challenges were steering learning, steering impact, steering reputation. And I'm confident, and I'm sure you will agree, that there has been a full debate, full discussion, and lots of exemplar of best practice in our sector. And what my job is now, to look at some of those key things and just to say what's next. How do we make sure that the dialogue continues? How do we make sure that there is a framework in place to continue to support our governors, clerks, and us together? So just on teaching and learning, basically, what we are going to be doing, there are going to be regional workshops, because in teaching and learning discussions, what I quickly established that some of you are well ahead of the game. Some of you are already having systems, processes in your colleges where you are closer to teaching and learning and you are reassured with what's happening. Some of you are anxious and not clear exactly how to go about it and how do you ensure that teaching and learning is right. Wherever it's taking place, whoever is paying for it. For that, there are no quick answers. But moving forward, there are going to be some regional workshops in partnership with the AOC and LSIS, and you need to make sure you are aware of those workshops and if you want to be engaged in those. The other tool, which we also talked about in one of the workshops about affective boards. And this is a diagnostic tool which has been developed by LSIS, and the debate has provided with further key points to be added. So all those points are going to be added to this diagnostic tool and will be developed further and will be available on LSIS website for people to download and use in your organizations, not about just teaching and learning, but about other aspects too. So that was to do with teaching and learning. Moving on to data. Again, there are no magic answers. If I was doing this work in my college, I'll say to my governors, small group, let's get together, sit back and think, what's important for us? What do we need to know? How do we make sure we get the right information in the right way, at the right time, to keep us informed and to make the right decisions, to be in a position to challenge and question. It comes down to all those key characteristics which everybody has been talking about, actually today, this morning. You heard from the panel about analysis, questioning, curiosity. You heard from Finton about entrepreneurial governance. Entrepreneurial leadership and entrepreneurial governance, they are very key things about the key characteristics of how we steer and lead our organizations. So if I was you, I'll just bring a group together, sit down, look at what we are getting. Is this giving us the right information about destination, about progression? And I would like to leave it to that. Finally, the third point, which we have also spoken about, and there was a question raised yesterday, are we skilling our students, our people in our communities for the right type of jobs? If we are going to be competing in the global marketplace, are we giving them the right skills and right opportunities? And then again, it comes down to fit for purpose. Where your organizations are, what's your strategic direction, what's happening in your local community, and what national and international ambitions and the appetite you have on your boards. But it's very important to look at the skills gaps, the skills needs, and I pay a lot of attention and perhaps spend disproportionate amount of my time engaging with the local community on providing that sort of leadership and being part of the leadership group for inward investment. Mansfield is not a sexy area. We need to have different kind of proposals, different kind of things in order to attract businesses to come to Mansfield. And we work together collectively and individually to see what skills we need to develop in our area so that we have a portfolio which we can offer to interested businesses and lobby other people to influence them, so bring their businesses to our area. That's just one example. Finally, Finton spoke about working in collaboration. Dick talked about working together. Bringing number of organizations together, it gives you the critical mass. So Gazelle Group, with 20, so almost 20 plus colleges, that gives them the critical mass, the resources, the intelligence to do things differently. I spoke about the India business and the opportunities there. The Association of Colleges, 33 colleges have come together to invest resources in doing business with India. And I want to be careful, we are not exporting the taxpayer money into India, but having a way to bringing that money back in this country. I don't want to say any more, and I hope moving forward, you will reflect back on your journeys also, what we have been able to debate and discuss in this conference, and I hope that you have found the conference useful, and let's continue on this. We don't know how, but you will get to know as soon as we are ready to tell you what's the next step is going to be. And Helen is probably going to focus on one or two things. So thank you very much. Thanks for your attendance, and thanks for your attention. I wanted to leave this particular aspect to the last, before Helen comes. Had a phone call from a colleague and a friend, principal of Derby College, principal of Burton and South Staffordshire College, Dawn Ward. She rang me a few minutes ago and quite upset on the phone, and she wanted to make sure that I mention this in this forum. Chair of the corporation of the college was ill since December. became critically ill. Unfortunately, he passed away this morning. And we just need to recognize he wanted to be here as part of this conference, but obviously he couldn't have been. The contribution he has made in the strategic direction of that college, moving that college forward, spending his time, energy, and I just want us to recognize that, and I want to wish and pray for his own peace and the sympathy for his family. So I just want you to think about that and just leave that for you before I get off the stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Asha. And from LSIS, we would echo the support and sympathy to the college and to the family. And thank you, my first thank you, and I'm not going to do too many because Peter did that excellently earlier on, is to Bill. Generally for his introduction, but also for helping us to deliver this conference over the last 4 years. Bill has verve, and he's got a great voice. Watched him last night organising us round the dinner. But above all, he's got a real strength of conviction about learning. And I know many of you return and value that each year. And one of the reasons that you come back is that he's here to contain us in our learning. So thank you, Bill. One more vote of recognition goes to Liam Burns and all the NUS speakers we've had over the previous conferences. They remind us why we're here in this sector generally, and education and training as a whole, and how close young people particularly are to our heels in holding us to account. They're going to be our employers one day. And I'm really proud of the fact that LSIS has always supported student governors, the NUS training programs, and learner voice initiatives throughout the country. We miss the point if we don't recognise that students are everybody's future. So thank you particularly to the NUS and Liam today. It's been my privilege to lead on governance development since 2007, first of all in the Centre for Excellence in Leadership, CEL, under Lynn Sedgemore, and then in LSIS. We're proud to leave with you a legacy of fantastic research and insight. Challenges for FE Governors, written by Reg Chapman recently for us. The emerging findings from the models of delivery with the support pack, which has been in your packs today. Sorry. We've also got the Learning Board programme that some of you have taken up, and most of all, we've delivered tools and techniques to support you in your governance learning and will help you in the challenging times ahead when we've gone. I'm sure that being the sector that we are, something new will emerge into this development space. And certainly, before we go, if we know what that newness is, where we can pass the baton on to, we'll let you know. We'll keep you in touch and keep you informed. And I promise you that we will do our best to find good homes for the work to support you and us in going forward. So I just want to leave you with the adapted words of that American radio presenter, Edward Morrow, the message, good day and good luck.
Thanks, Helen. That was a perfect way to mark the moving on. Thank you very much. LSIS is committed to doing whatever it does well and would love you to fill in the evaluation forms if you've not already done that. If you're interested in downloading or looking again at any of the presentations, they'll all be on the LSIS site as per normal. We thank most people, but I'm not sure that we've thanked our workshop leaders, and I wondered if you might just put your hands together and do that. As you walk towards your grab-and-go lunch, there are two other things that may be of relevance to you. One, if you feel like emptying your pockets of any change or indeed notes, there will be a bucket as you go out. And secondly, if you find your bag isn't where you thought it was, your bag will have been placed in the post room, which as you go up the stairs is on the, Joe help me out, left as you go up towards the reception. Otherwise, safe journeys and thank you very much indeed.